Pink News then pushed a story about one of the MP's staff resigning on August the 14th. The lesbian woman, codenamed Sophie, objected to the tweets and claimed Duffield's office was inundated with supportive correspondence from transphobes and homophobes. According to her, Duffield seemed to be okay with this, or at least didn't explicitly say that she wasn't. Sophie also claimed Duffield kept talking to her about being a lesbian and asking things like, "Do you know Sandy Toksvig?" These are not especially serious accusations, and they are only the word of one disgruntled member of staff. Various Labour groups, including student and LGBT groups, tried to put pressure on Starmer to remove the whip from Duffield. To their credit, Wes Streeting, Jess Phillips, and even the Archbishop of Canterbury came out to defend her during this episode, saying she was not transphobic. A second staff member quit on October 2020, citing Duffield's overtly transphobic views. Duffield dismissed this claim as absolute rubbish. When somebody replied in defense of the resigned woman, calling her brave, Duffield replied, "Bravery? Well, as you have a photo of her in your Twitter bio, I imagine you're not at all biased much?" This, it was deemed by the complainant's trade union, was an attempt to dox and thus endanger the individual. It was irresponsible, certainly, the sort of thing one might do without thinking, but likely not a deliberate attempt to harm the woman. Threats were, it seems, made against Duffield. A year later, 2021, she chose not to come to the Labour conference in Brighton because she was fearful for her safety, or at least worried she would cause a distraction. "I mainly took the decision," she said, "not because I really thought I was going to be attacked, but because I did not want to be the centre of attention." This decision, apparently, followed a meeting with the Speaker, Labour's Chief Whip, and the police. She did, however, take the stage at a gender-critical fringe event, hosted by the LGB Alliance. To again give credit where it's owed, Speaker Lindsay Hoyle and Mayor Sadiq Khan did say Duffield should be able to go to the conference without fear of harm. Perhaps Duffield's snubbing the conference was performative. Maybe her lack of presence there, and indeed her appearance at the fringe event, shows she did actually want to be a distraction. It is politics after all. If that was the intention, it worked, because as a result, the cervix conundrum and the LGB event came to beset the conference. Andrew Marr interviewed Starmer on the second day, and, discussing Duffield, asked him if it was transphobic to say only women have a cervix. Starmer replied, "Well, it is something that shouldn't be said. It is not right." This act of total cowardice caused consternation, and the media smelled blood. Every political figure, especially in Labour, was soon being asked the same question, and they invariably stumbled around trying to answer. My pet favourite was when Nick Ferrari asked Rachel Reeves, and she could barely speak.
Is it transphobic to say only women have a cervix? But is it transphobic, yes or no?
Look, is it transphobic? Look,
Eventually raging about how the question was inappropriate.
but I don't feel comfortable talking about women's anatomies and different parts of women's bodies with you, Nick, or frankly with anybody else.
This was the same rage mode she entered when Starmer had glitter thrown at him during his 2023 conference speech, and she was filmed shouting, "For God's sake! For God's sake!" As a result of the cervix question being asked en masse, the general "what is a woman" meme became inextricably linked with the Labour Party. To this day, it still plagues them on every social media post they make.